Hello, 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 everyone. This is Mohammed Shilon coming to you from the US. My co host, Mr. Victor Mengot, is not going to be here today. Uh, so I hope some of you are not going to be disappointed because we were going to touch on some aviation issues. We will, but the expert or the expertise a portion of it will not go touch on because only Mr. Mengot now we team qualify for that. But Mr. Jamboria, one of our frequent co-host, will be here. He's not on board right now, but will be here shortly. So we're going to discuss certain issues. And like we say, this show, what we call trending issues in Sierra Leone, things that will go on now, things that we need for talk about, and see what's good, what's bad about time, depending on our own opinion, but we just disseminate or pass the information along. Okay? And today now, of course, November 17, 2024, Sunday, November 17, 2024. Also, as usual, let me just go very quickly. The numbers that we normally can call or direct our attention to for call in case when I get comments, when I get phone calls to make. So I want to go over their numbers then they just for bringing them up to speed. Now, say this is not the VOS network. This is the network of numbers. Okay, if you are calling from North America into this show, Mexico, Canada, and America, please call 1-866-944-7722. 1-866-944-7722. If they call from England, the United Kingdom, particularly the General United Kingdom, call plus 44 20 80 89 1455. Plus 44 20 80 89 1455. If you call from Australia, call plus 61 29 09 84 337. Again, plus 61 29 09 84 337. Then, if you call from any other part of the world, including the countries that I mentioned or the areas that I mentioned, you also could call on the WhatsApp line, way good for everywhere. And the WhatsApp line are 1-343-997-5828. 1-343-997-5828. In addition to that, we get a VOS radio, where they operate in Freetown, 91.9 FM. Again, VOS radio, Freetown, 91.9 FM. For be able to do that, it could be more helpful if you can download the VOS television mobile app. Go to the Google Play Store or the Apple Store and for download the app, and you will get access to particularly the radio transmission, but for be able to hear it clearly. There are also some what we will call ancillary, but other media where then the carry where we're gonna be able to reach when at the videos network broadcasting platforms. YouTube now one. Go on VOS network, Facebook, and another one. For Facebook, you can go on VOS, Voice of Salon TV, Voice of Salon Radio, VOS-SL, VOS-UK, VOS-Australia. Okay? So if you go on Facebook, you put in that one and there you will be able to reach me. There is also which will be formerly Twitter, but now called X. You can find one a VOS television. Then, of course, VOS TV website, you can go to vostelevision.com. If you aren't going to the website, vostelevision.com. You also go to the website to the radio, vosradio.com. Then, like I said earlier, if you go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, for the mobile app, you will get me on VOS Television. You also can able catch me on Twitch TV. Now you will go on VOS Television, and that should work. VOS Television, which is different from VOS Network on YouTube. So, but in the car we on YouTube, Facebook, X, or formerly Twitter, and many other areas we will not be able to catch me. Let me also announce to the audience that the issues that we will touch on today are open. The lines will be open because there's a tendency for one to forget to remind the audience that they are free to call. So with the make an announcement to that effect that once we begin the program as we've started, as soon as we begin to lay down the issues, we encourage people to call because we don't want for go to, then we'll take and call from 1 or 2 or 3 people in number, that's all. So please feel free to call as the program progresses, okay? Thank you very much for listening. So now, today's issues, some of the issues then, since I say in trending events or traded issues with the talk about, there are some trending issues. One, now this airline business will go get for play a video of Madam Sylvia Blyden, and a supporting video where they talk to the same issues. Then we'll go make everybody feel free for call if you get any question. We just want for touch on that because it has to do with national safety. It has to do with the airline. We want for transport Sierra Leoneans from Britain, particularly to England and to Sierra Leone and back. So we don't know which one of your relatives then go there on board them plane then there. So I think we're all concerned for make sure we address the issue of safety. That's one topic. Another topic would be Parliament just recently put out a notice cautioning people or Sierra Leone Parliament issues stern warning to social media. So the warning is vague in many respects, and the warning seemed to be very improper in many respects. And so we want to touch on that for just try to see how we can let the public understand. If for parliamentarians, they know I'm for educated people as to the role of parliament and then limitations because they not get absolute power. So, and we're not even sure if parliament get the power for beginning issue stern warning to the public. So we'll talk about conflict of laws, and encroachment on executive privilege and so on. So we'll talk about that issue there. Then we'll get 1 or 2 other issues that we want to touch on, like the free education in Sierra Leone, but maybe there are certain schools, particularly in the Eastern Province, that are skipped over that we need to understand whether the Ministry of Education just lost touch or wasn't aware. And if not, this is a constructive form of bringing to the awareness of the Minister of Education as to the existence of this particular school, the Eastern Province, And like I always say to una, me adopted home na Kalaun district, so I consider myself an Eastern Province guy. Okay, so I'm an all-rounder. I'm a Western area guy, born and raised there. Then lived in the Eastern Province, Upper Bamara Chiefdom. I went to school in the Southern Province, Nabo. So I now live in about 3/4 of the country, and during my own time, we used to go all north, the Northern Province, for play soccer. I was a soccer player, so we go play St. Francis, Colintin, Mabuka Secondary School, Sri Lanka, Kamakwie Secondary School, and so on and so forth. So I traveled somewhat in the north, but I never lived in the north. So I happen to be just one guy who, during my youth, I was fortunate enough to really have had something to do in all the provinces as well as the Western area. So I know a little bit. I don't consider myself an expert, but I know a little bit about the country, the Southern Province, the Eastern Province, particularly. Okay, so we want to touch on that on that school issue there, and then we want for in the process of that, we will talk about the this threat is related to the price increase or the law that was passed. The threat by Parliament has to do with the law that was passed concerning the 5% or the 10% tax increment on rice. So we'll go analyze down there and let people and see for whatever it is worth. But Parliament, the threat and say then go hold people of contempt, then go hold people and will charge people with obstruction of Parliament, contempt of Parliament, and so on and so forth. So we will get to that. So going back, let's start off with the airline safety. And this airline, we supposedly for start operation either now or very soon or before the Christmas holiday. Let we just see, let we play Dr. Blyden in video, and make me caution people them also. Playing Dr. Blyden in video does not mean for this network that we're trying to use it in any other way other than disseminating news to the public. We're not free for taken for what it is. I can only caution the public, irrespective of how I feel about Dr. Blyden. Let's learn to separate the message from the messenger. Sometimes the messenger might bring constructive information. Sometimes you might not like what the messenger, but I go left down to an individual judgment. But I just want for make one know say because we play a video of Dr. Blyden, doesn't or Blyden doesn't mean we are promoting anything that she may have said, because we'll get to follow up video we'll go play for the same subject matter. It just so happened that. So we want to make that clear. So I'll go ask the control room for please play the video for we, and then we'll go follow that up with another video, and then we'll follow that up with an analysis.
Me fellow Sierra Leoneans, this is Dr. Sylvia Olainka Blyden, and today is Monday, November 11th, 2024. Last night, they released photographs of the proposed plane with the Air Sierra Leone plane. And I'm going to do some investigations into this proposed plane, and I'll release my findings as a patriotic citizen na social media na ya. But the findings not mean pleasant at all, and a huge concern, huge cause for worry. I not do them out of any malice. I do them because, as some of you are going to know, I don't survive plane crash na Lunge Airport. Plane crash with me in August 2004. I survived plane crash. And I think God saved my life now for a purpose. And one of the purpose now for make sure say at all times I work for my people them. I speak for my people them with courage. Because God don't show me say I can save your life from plane crash. I can save your life from so many other things then. So the role where you get for plane at this world, and for make sure say you do it correct with courage. So that I do last night. There was no malice there. Now, when they launched this Air Sierra Leone, the CEO tell we say the plane where they get for use, that video they did. Where they talk he said the plane not 2 years yet. He said the plane not 2 years yet. A brand new plane. So what we don't believe say yes, a brand new plane. So when I see this Air Sierra Leone yesterday, when I run my investigation, I find out say a 20 years old plane. Now them paint. Then secondly, when I do further investigations onto the registration of the plane, I can find out say this plane me don't crash. Not mean the kind language where some people in the use but runway excursion. Now crash the plane crash and call it crash landing. So then sound even the crash alarm where the plane crash. So it come up from the sky, it land, it do it in a crash landing. Crash landing it come on at the runway, it go na poto. Now me on concern is that this plane na plane when they run between Abuja and Lagos. It not me get problem for run between Abuja and Lagos. When it crash na Lagos, it come out Abuja, it fly can Lagos, it crash. They not use it again in Nigeria. They say for can use it for Sierra Leone. But na they me get problem. So the government don't talk to it today. They say no, no worry. They say the plane they don't care and go South Africa, they don't go fix and fine. They don't go paint her. They don't go paint and fine, green, white and blue. They say, oh, no worry, they don't test everything, the plane okay, and they're ready for user. But this plane when they run between Abuja and Lagos, now they don't want to for run between Abuja and Lagos again. Now this plane na salon if for the run come out. And there I get small concern. But what I'm glad for, the government was very honest. The Sierra Leone Civil Aviation Authority for confess and confirm, say there was an incident with this plane. Now, one of my closest friends inside the British government, now the current Minister of Aviation and Maritime and Security, Transportation Security. Now one of me, in fact, I can call her my brother, safe. Now the minister. And me no say that particular Monday, that minister they in England when I'm my brother. No when not they allow 20-year-old plane like that one they don't crash. They don't go fix in South Africa, paint and back fine. No when not they my brother they allow that plane they for fly go inside England. That they are sure now on that. As I'm a white gentleman, but I'm my brother. There is no way it will allow that plane day for fly go inside England. It's not possible. This morning, the Air Sierra Leone people they call me. They say they want to meet me. They want to talk to me. They want me for they want to engage me. So I tell them say no, it's not possible. Because how this thing not go so now, I don't want compromise if I can't meet you now. So then first stay, say they want meet, but I balance them. I don't agree meet there. And I want them for don't say I refuse for meet you now, not because now malice make I do the revelations. I refuse from it una because I just want the correct thing to be done. I don't need for me tuna for make una do the correct thing. I believe say una might able get another plane wey go better than this one, and if that is the case, I go come back and tell the people then say that rotten plane wey me don crash, wey dem say dem carry go na South Africa for go fix am, no throwing the fly again with salon flag for go inside England. And whether that plane dey then really the Sierra Leone Civil Aviation Authority go want for fly from Sierra Leone. Oh, na blackout don't be so. Oh yeah. You know, I know saying a blackout. Let's just round up because I don't know when light will come on. My generator get problem. So let me just round up inside the darkness. Basically, I don't know if the Sierra Leone Civil Aviation Authority actually plan for make that plane day where they not use in Nigeria anymore. That plane where me they fly from Abuja to Lagos and Lagos to Abuja. Now they want for use for fly out of Sierra Leone. 20-year-old plane, over 20 years old plane. So I don't know, something like that plane they want for use for the West Africa route. I don't know. But if that is the case, then we need some honesty, and we will also need the Parliamentary Oversight Committee on Transportation for really look into this particular issue. Because as I said in days in AYV, for the democracy for work, the parliament for work. We can't left the executive only to themselves. The parliament for do oversight. So on that note today, inside the blackout, because I don't know the light to come on, make a round up for now, and let God bless you all. Amen.
The people of Sierra Leone say make I ask you the question. The first people for go test the flights because they don't hear news around say the flights now old flights will be don't crash way park na Nigeria na they go take the repair. Now the people of Sierra Leone say make I ask you this question. Who are the first people away for go test the flights? They say they need Marabio, Fatima Bio, you picking them, the cabinet members. Now for go test the flights and Armabio, you know for left behind for go test this flight here. They say you for day inside the flight for go test this flight because we want to cry for flights now. Papa when I'm mad, you look out flight for we. But the problem, the one way for go test the flight, and they say for test the flight, not for fly no more from Salongo Ghana or for fly from Salongo Nigeria. If for fly from Sierra Leone to London. When you fly from Sierra Leone to London, you return. Now people they will start for use the flight because they don't know say the flight come. They just carry them. They don't know if na set up. They don't know if na this or na that. They say we granny, we auntie, we uncle them, we picking them, we grandpa them. They not go first load na that flight though for go test them. Now una the cabinet member, now una the government people them for load na that flight today. Now for confirm because on account on confirm I say this. Na good engine, this na good flight. So now for confirm back up the air. Say go inside, una come. Now the people they go start for loading. So the like this news me fambule and say make I tell you. That no more.
All right, let me first welcome me co-host, Mr. Giallo Jamboria. He's on board now. As I explained to Una, say he will soon be on board.
Thank you.
Also, yes, sir. So I don't know how much of the earlier video of Miss Blyden you hearing, but we'll be just to talk about the information with respect to that particular enterprise day of this company we want for begin fly people in from Freetown to London, as well as to some other areas in Africa. So I know say you, Mr. Jambore, you work in the aviation sector, Sierra Leone, some time back. And so, I mean, the good thing about you, you're a jack of a lot of trades. You're a trade unionist, you're a teacher, you work in aviation, you're a civil rights activists. So it's always an asset to have you on board. So I'm just make a comment from a layman's standpoint with respect to what Udoyeri, Ms. Blyden say. And also let me remind the listeners, them also say the lines are open. Please feel free to call anytime you feel based upon the numbers them that you already know, where we don't read through before. You know, the toll-free number when 1-343-997-5828. I don't want to go over the rest of the other numbers there, but you will catch me on YouTube, you will catch me on Facebook. But going back to this airline and the issue of safety, I know say Mr. Jamboria might get something for trouble. Let me just give me a quick comment about that. The reason why we get government now for promote what is in the best interest of its people. Government not operate in a vacuum. Government operates for talk and represent the people them within the country of which it is the government. And they represent people them unless you look at what is in their best interest. So without watching Dr. Blyden say, with respect to this particular plane, having been involved in accidents in Lagos, on a flight, it was a flight from Abuja to Lagos. It crash landed. So unusually when they use that phrase, they crash land, because if it had caught on fire and people then died, they would have said it crashed. They're not going to use the word landed. Then they only use the word land because people survived and there were no serious casualties. So that phrase is a moderation of some sort to give people in some comfort, some peace of mind that, yeah, a plane crash, but a crash landing is a crash, not just the degree of the crash. So we want to understand that. So now, when they talk about the plane having been involved in an accident, the plane with a repair in South Africa, the plane with a paint over, the plane with Nigeria itself, where the crash took place, though not allow the plane to run anymore. Then the plane is 20 or more years old, but we were told that the plane is about 2 years old, which is a serious misrepresentation. Now, let me say this. A 20-year-old plane is not like a 20-year-old car. A plane can be 20-year-old and still be very operational and safe. But you have to go through rigorous inspections. Now, the advanced countries, then where we know of, even in some African countries. Now, a 20-year-old plane will be subject to more rigorous inspection than, say, a 2-year-old plane. Okay? So the fact that it is 20-year-old, which is a cause for concern, is not as bad as the 20-year-old plane was represented to the people as a 2-year-old plane and a fairly new plane. That information turned out to be right. That's a 2-year-old plane, not a 20. So they give you wrong information. The issue of the plane having been involved in a prior accident was never mentioned in earlier videos, where we don't know whether the government not be doing due diligence of not finding out, because even in developed countries, even in Sierra Leone, if you sell motor car, just ordinary automobile, the other one buyer, they ask you, say, this motor car don't involved by accident, and you say yes, they want to know whose car accident. What part of the motor car was damaged, for see if we could develop earlier problem when the vehicle is purchased. So you will expect we chief of aviation and the expert then will run that area there for be able for raise all them questions in there. So the question becomes, did they not raise these questions? Or they knew that this is a plane that had been involved in an accident or in a crash, or that had crashed, but they decided to be silent and not say anything about that. Which is, if that's the truth, then there is some degree of deception. And here is what, and the only reason why there will be deception is not to protect the public, but it's to protect the so-called investors, them, or the ownership of the plane, the people that will own it. They go, otherwise there will be no deception. There should be transparent. There should be some openness to that effect. Okay, so you see that failure to do their due diligence or deliberate deception, knowing that this is a plane had been without crash. The other issue is, we all know, say, plane, unlike motorcar, let me also say, plane are one of the safest means of transportation. Plane safer than motorcar, is safer than a lot of means of transportation because the frequency by which motorcar and the bank themselves, even in the streets of Freetown, a plane can get accident that way, it will be a disaster. So planes are generally very safe mode or means of transportation. But the only reason why there is a heightened concern about the safety of plane, not to 2, 3, 4 people in the day in a plane, particularly a plane with a transcontinental, Africa to Europe, Africa to the Americas, Africa to Asia. You see, so you talk about large number of people traveling at the same time. So when there's a disaster such as a crash, a lot of people would die. And one plane accident go be equivalent to something 10, 20 motorcar accidents or more. So that's why there's concern for make sure, say, and plane, unlike a motorcar, once it's up there in the air, you are the mercy of the plane itself, this engine, and the skill of the operators them of the plane, the pilot and then co-pilots them. So that was not brought to light, you know. So for Ms. Blyden, for can't tell we about this plane having been involved in an accident is shocking. But also, like she said, she did it as a public service. And as we did when the show started, we didn't play, because we know say Dr. Blyden is a prominent journalist in Sierra Leone, and she could be a controversial person. So we're trying to separate the message from the messenger. So I don't want to mix that up. So we think say is newsworthy that she was able to disclose or detect or investigate this the quality of the plane with the tugboat. And I'm sure, like she said, because she feels it's her duty to try to protect people from any foreseeable or preventable disaster. Okay? So as a matter of public service, that's what she said in her motivation. And I take her at her words. So now, be that as it may, what do we want for tugboat? We want for ask why the government for say the government will represent with the aviation people them did not know. If they knew, why didn't they let us know? And so these are some of the things that we want for touch on as a matter of public. Then the second phase of this issue is the thing about the second video we'll talk about. Then go want the president, well, not necessarily the president, because we're not going to target the president and the family, but the top officials. You know, they could be ambassadors, they could be permanent secretaries, you know, They could be top government officials. Now then duty with the aviation sector taking the lead, now then duty for assure the public that this plane where they want for can operate in Sierra Leone is safe enough that even the SSF can guarantee they don't mind for fly on it and with them family or close associates. That's how you reassure the public. You just don't tell the public it's all right, then you don't want for fly on them. So the second video was only to the extent that this person suggests say, because that's what we get out of that video there. For say, if government so sure for give license to the operators them of that plane there, what they carry with country name, even though the government say not to Sierra Leone get them, and not to joint enterprise between the government and the private enterprise, but they allow them for use the name Sierra Leone for whatever reason. The second video, they simply say, well, reassure we, because some of we want for fly from England or from Sierra Leone to England and back. Reassure we by getting on board. And since from Freetown to London, it's roughly between 5 and 6 hour flight, then put the plane in operation with high government officials them on board. Fly go, fly come, then you can tell the people and say, you see, we're not afraid. But like with the vaccine, we get the vaccine of the past epidemic, you know. Say don't just tell people in Pocheka. We will notice say some government officials, and even the president of the United States, the one and the President Biden, then take them for reassure the rest of we. So it's safe, you know, the COVID vaccine I was thinking of. You see, that's what a government does. You know, to tell people and put people in harm's way and say, don't be fearful of anything you find. We'll get your back. This time, not to we're back, we want them when I get, we want them when I go in front first. With that said, and I want for just pass them over to my co-host, make him make whatever comment he get to say. Mr. Jamburia, next to you.
Yes,
sir.
thank you, sir. And fambul dem una kusha, una kabo, una odu. Ipiari seke no. Viana, kauyena. You see, we have to stop making amends with stupidity. Sierra Leone has reached the point where we have to be a little bit direct. Government is not a mafiosi cartel. It is a service to a people who have given legitimacy to some people to do what needs to be done to secure the welfare and safety of the people. Dr. Sylvia Blyden is spot on this issue. And I think Sierra Leoneans need for respect the fact that she is standing for the good of the nation. This aircraft, by very model, is a model that has been decommissioned by several airlines. Ghana Airways used to run that model back in the 1990s on the West African route. By then, Ghana Airways had this model of Boeing, then they been get DC-10, we been they do the international flights. Even the DC-10 has been decommissioned in Kakas Day, somewhere in Accra. Yes, right enough, a car, any vehicle, if you continue to get the correct spare parts and correct maintenance, you will keep them going. That is a fact. But another side of the fact is production of certain parts can stop after some time, just like your computer. From the tell them start with Windows, say they don't come to Windows 11, certain things then they were not they update anymore in certain systems. You cannot use Windows XP now because you not get no updates, you not get spare parts for them. Except if you make local arrangement, will go be very expensive. So the safety of that particular model is very, very low. Coupled to that, or coupled with that, this is an aircraft that had an accident sometime this year at Murtala Mohammed Airport on the 11th of May, to be precise. It is on LinkedIn. I want people to go and find out about it. It's on LinkedIn. What me put on there? Now a newspaper in Nigeria put them on LinkedIn. The 11th of May this year, 5N stroke BZN crash landed and he skied off the runway. It's on Google, then you will see several newspapers reporting it. To say the government or whoever is the authority signing on behalf of the government didn't know about this is not an excuse. We are not living in the 13th century. This is the 21st century where Boijal or Jamboya can find out anything he wants to find out just by going online and inputting the correct queries. So let's stop forget excuse for people the way they do dull things or stupid things. There is no excuse about what has been done wrong. This aircraft, if it been airworthy, will be for don't see a test flight to Gatwick Airport. Since we then they tell about Sierra Leone or Air Sierra Leone, we then go paint 5NBZN back, then get and green, white, and blue. Where in your original color was white, then you get red na the tail, outside and right XCjet. Have we seen a test flight? Because before you load a plane, the way they allow you permit for go land in the airport, then go on for see a test flight for verify. Say, yes, this is the aircraft that you're talking about. When Sierra Leone Airlines be signed contract with Jordanian, then been give Sierra Leone Airlines a Boeing 707 jet. We been they call an LJ. That short period where been the lungewa okde. LJ did a test flight to Gatwick for verification purpose. Have we seen that happen? Then they sell ticket for people for this December. December is around the corner. Has there been any test flight? You see, let we therefore take with people then safety as a joke. Let we stop that, na say Leon, Mr. Shillon. Like Sylvia Blyden rightly said, Parliament has to ask questions. If they don't, that means they're all there in connivance. There are technical issues about this arrangement that are grossly wrong. And I will not be afraid to say this is a scam. It's a danger we are putting our people to. Look the number upon the aircraft, 5N stroke BZN. Now the same aircraft then bring us alone. And this was the aircraft where then show you on that picture where that fellow been the talk say, let them load them family then on board. Now the same number I get, the same registration number. You cannot use the same registration number for two aircrafts. This is a willful act to defraud the people of Sierra Leone. Because this aircraft has not been allowed to run in Nigeria, they want to bring it to Sierra Leone, then put people in life at risk, load them for make them go die. This has to stop. Sierra Leone belongs to Sierra Leoneans, not a few people. We know we have this caste system. Usai leaders feel say they can do it, then go on for do and go scot-free. But for God's sake, this is the 21st century. Now begin respect modernity. The Constitution of Sierra Leone is clear about where power belongs. Sovereignty belongs to the people. Stop abusing and misusing the people. This aircraft is not fit for purpose. If the people already run Sierra Leone, Sierra Leone, one for be management ethical, let them charter flights with safe aircraft, the cow, this other man will do, I call her Mark Phillips or whatever, for take people to Sierra Leone, not with this aircraft. This is a high-risk aircraft, and we need to say it without being economical. Sylvia Blyden has said it, and I think people should listen to her. People should listen to her. Everything she has said is factual. Now stop for the put people them in harm's way for the sake of few thousand or $1 million in our pocket and houses in Europe and London. Thank God Donald Trump don't be president in America. I hope he go deport every foreigner there, let them properties, then they left there. Maybe that go make people shit up. It's wrong. It's ethically wrong. But they go make them dangerous arrangements here. I think you have a caller, sir.
All right. Just very quickly, briefly before I take the call, I just want to add to what Mr. Jamborea say. Mr. Jamborea talk about stupidity. I also want to add, part of the problem is there is some degree of cruelty. Cruelty means the extent of being uncaring, regardless of consequences, in the sense that because if we really care about the people, we will do with due diligence. But this, to me, seems to be an act of negligence or uncaring. So let me just take a call, and we will continue the conversation. Hello, caller. Which name you say the call from?
Hello, Mira Lavalley. I call from Ohio. I need for correct Santi misinformation where I be right now with my good conscience and not think say it appropriate according to the information where they public AYV television and 98.1 where the managing director of Air Sierra Leone and the Director General of Civil Aviation go on this platform and verify and provide full data publicly, which is available for everybody. One fact I need for that's a misinformation on this platform at the right now is the aircraft we get for the shuttle from Gatwick to Sierra Leone, Freetown, not to this SN. Not to this aircraft where they in question. It is a 2-year Boeing flight aircraft where therefore they fly Gatwick to Freetown. That's a fact. You can go to the aviation department. They will give you that information. Air Sierra Leone managing director also speak about that. Then one misinformation one that they misconstrue this information. Not to this flight where they get this malfunction, get for the flight at Gatwick. That's one thing. And this flight when they in question now 50 passenger flight. It can go within the sub-region. As we talk right now, this flight then at South Africa for maintenance. South Africa get for this certification for approve of that maintenance because it got for fly over the airlines airspace of South Africa for go back to Nigeria. Nigeria get for approve this safety agencies get for approve that flight for ferry to Freetown. Then when Freetown in reach there, Sierra Leone airlines, Sierra Leone government or Sierra Leone aviation get for give your certification. Airlines industry is a highly regulated industry where no plane no go fly on the air. If all this air space where it get for fly, they don't go get certification for approval for the safety worthiness of the plane before they fly. The issue where that aircraft gets Nigeria airspace now because of weather. Serious thunder and lightning will veer the direction of the plane off of the track. Because of the thunder and lightning, it may happen to any place. I've been travel from Arkansas to Chicago. The weather condition not allow the plane for land. It veer the plane. So after two weeks, they ground that plane. Nobody not going to the air or say this plane is not going to come back on the airspace. After 6 months, I fly with that plane again from Arkansas to Chicago because they don't fix them. Whenever plane go get an incident, there is a mandatory full inspection which is going to be carried out because ICAO, the International Agency Safety Board, is going to certify that no plane not going to fly anywhere in the country, whether in West Africa or worldwide, that will not be certified safety worthiness from any international agency. They are going to have to get all those certifications first before that aircraft, when they in question, fly. That's not one thing. So this idea that there's a misinformation for the aircraft where they for fly Gatwick to Freetown is false. That's a fact. Not all this plane get for the fly day. That's a lie thing. Now 200 and something passenger therefore they go Gatwick and Freetown. I just want to make that clear in the first place. I will call back.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Savali. Let me say this. Okay, let we assume or let we take as a fact, this is not the plane going to go to London. This is a plane going to be flying within Africa. You not still dispute the fact that it has been involved in a crash. They try for minimize or to give the reason why, but you not dispute say that plane would have been involved in a crash. I assume or I presume. And you not dispute for say the plane is 20 years old. I you not dispute the fact that this particular plane has not been allowed to fly within Nigeria. Do you? Because when you use the word misinformation, one forgets certain things clear. So assuming that what you say is true, we'll not go argue with you on that because I understand. Assuming that what you say is true because you seem for the talk with some degree of anger, and this is a show where calls for exchange of views. If anything is misrepresented, it's fine. You can call. I will not interrupt you. We'll just give you the opportunity for say what you want to say. But there are certain facts you can't dispute. The safety of the aircraft, it doesn't matter whether it's going to fly to London or it's going to fly to Nigeria. When they talk about the airworthiness of the plane, and there is a fact, undisputed, that this is the same plane that was once involved in an accident. This, you not dispute the fact that this is a 20-year-old plane. So the main question we present, the issue here is, will you be willing to be, you can volunteer for be one of the test people and for take a test flight on that plane day when the time comes for fly anywhere in Africa. If you think we are just talking about safety of people there, and that may include you in person, me in person, we're just talking about generally. So we appreciate you calling, and you don't have to be angry. This is just an exchange of ideas. So we are not trying to misrepresent anything. We welcome whatever correction you may have. We'll not get a monopoly on the facts. So if there's a variation, like when you say this is not the flight or not to the plane, this will go fly go England, we'll not take issue with that. The issue that we're presenting is the whole thing about the plane flying with Australians on board. And we even willing to accept you saying now Africa and within Africa. So are you saying it's okay? Then you can make a comparison about flight from Arkansas to somewhere. You're talking about the United States, where these things are highly, very much regulated. So that comparison the way you give, I don't see the relevance. Everybody knows that flights are yes, sir. Flights are highly regulated. But
the old speech where the man say we the misinformer, I think he was the misinformer. There were contradictions in what he was saying because he was emotional. He did admit that there is an aircraft that is being repaired in South Africa. Didn't he?
Yes, he did. In the narrative.
And he told us when it is repaired, it will be approved. So he's accepting that it is this aircraft. Because the pictures they will get of Air Sierra Leone, the number on Air Sierra Leone are the same number this with a C. 5N ZN. If Air Sierra Leone has some other aircraft that they are going to use in place of B5N, BZN, then go on the media like AYV TV, where they go global because they're on IP TV network. Why didn't they take a picture of that aircraft to show the world? Why are they saying we have another aircraft? Where is it? You see, people like ever put their emotions down. Sierra Leone belongs to every Sierra Leonean. And some of us know so much about that country because I worked there for 20 years of my life that I'm not here to spread propaganda or to do guesswork. I'm saying what I know as a fact. If Mr. Lavalley has any information contrary to what I have said, let him come with evidence. But let him not say we dey misinform. I don't take pleasure in misinforming. It's not part of my makeup. This aircraft, as it is, now we see them showy as Air Sierra Leone painted with green, white, and blue color, with the same registration number, 5N/BZN. If there is another aircraft, why is it not being shown? Because the issue surrounding this whole thing, now this aircraft with this registration number, for God's sake. If there is another aircraft, show it to the public. Let this issue be laid to rest. But don't come with your temper. Tempers don't govern a country, for God's sake. Tempers don't govern a country. Governance is not about antipathy or sympathy. It's about empathy, doing what is right for the greater majority. And we have left this temper, because now we all get salon. If we're not ready for make temper, who say make temper, and then we'll get peace. Please. We all be vexed, and so test some of we vex now with technology.
Well, I'm fast. somebody
next
say
Sierra
the,
Leone.
the confusion continues. It will be best to get the facts before forming an opinion. Of course, we not form opinion. There has been a lot of misinformation regarding this flight. There has been no misinformation. The only variation, the gentleman who called said that's not the flight going to England. The flight itself, there is no dispute as to this is the flight that is going to be flying from Lunge to somewhere
Yeah.
as Air Sierra Leone. There is no dispute about that. There is no dispute about the fact that this plane has been involved in an accident. There is no dispute that this plane has been repaired. Repaired in South Africa. So I do not understand. We are talking about public safety, in which the caller, a relative of his or anyone, could be on board that flight today. We are simply saying, don't we have a duty of care for make sure, say, whatever we do, we'll put on as aviation transportation, that it is safe for everyone. So I don't see the misinformation. If there is a misinformation, please tell us what is the misinformation. The fact that this flight may not be going to England.
By coming with the facts. Prove to us it is a misinformation by coming with the facts. The public has said the aircraft 5N/BZN is what is going to run as Air Sierra Leone. And there is fact online that 5N/BZN was involved in an air accident at Murtala Mohammed Airport. There is fact that there is photographs circulating that 5N/BZN has been repainted with the green, white, and blue flag with Air Sierra Leone written on it. If there is an alternative fact with an aircraft that is not 5N/BZN, present it. But don't come and insult people about misinformation. Don't come up on this pettiness. Present it. We have presented the facts that are available to us. And if there is any alternative fact that may prove us wrong, come with it.
Okay, let me take another call. Hello, caller. What your name? Who's you to call from?
Hello, viewers. This is Umar the call.
Hey, Umar. Thank you for calling.
I think if we all agree on something, I want to say the flight not good for a purpose. We accept the government get good faith. You know, the one we serve at least something there on the airway where they promote that saloonness. But the old problem within we self as Sierra Leoneans, now this we against them. And even the real issue on the ground for make we discuss or for make we talk, people still they think we against them. And look, this particular issue, not to something like a land issue, where you say this will get land for share, and some people don't want to take the land, they can't vex, they knock, they clap, and the man they talk with the area in the background, where they, I don't know if now what they knock, and they clap on a table they knock. Or this not to some theory before say you pack family motorcar, where your family go buy motorcar, then the other family can say no, we don't pay for this motorcar. This is not a national issue. So for make you come, they can't knock table na media, it don't make any sense. Now the same thing they talk. And this na issue this way Sierra Leoneans and for rally around for get one word. And because na all no business. You see, and the president and entire government of that nation for differentiate themselves with the board of that particular company where they try to call that this service in Sierra Leone. Therefore, represent the people of Sierra Leone. Then tell that therefore they talk about the call with experts them where at least will come find out, do their own findings, give their own professional advice, rather than for let the board of directors of the airline and the aviation authority in Sierra Leone, they come up together. They make this not to do them for team up the inform people. This nothing they for differentiate themselves because them are business people and then they represent Sierra Leone. They for differentiate themselves from them people and try to them represent the Sierra Leone people where everybody expects them for represent. You know, but it don't reach into this when a particular somebody do something, when people make honest criticism, some people go say this is just somebody the way they oppose government. This is not about opposing government. This is about talking about the affair of Sierra Leoneans, the well-being of Sierra Leoneans, the safety of Sierra Leoneans. Now we're doing that studio. For some people go around or people they can call and they try for clap or the knock table. I never understand. I never understand who say in the anger, who say the drive and the driver in anger they from. It's a national issue. The same passport now we all get. That same green, white, and blue passport you get now I get. That same way you get now I get. That way Sierra Leone now you get. That way they criticize now you get. That way they try to make so this shouldn't come to now you get. Even in the matter bill, even though yes we could talk say get an upgraded one, but not the same green, white, and blue. So what thing you can sit down and act table for? Would they try for promote salon business? This no world country. We know so severe blood and you just like what you say, let them differentiate the message from the messenger. We all know say they try for score a political goal, they try for own the fight, they try for claim because even when they try for talk say how in brother, they try for make like an single addedly call the British people for let the plane no landing. But that na politics. But there is a genuine issue with Sierra Leoneans for rally around or make sure to put them into rest. Not to when one person they can't if feel say in a boss or if feel say this now we against them they can't actable. This sorry when I not put the honest in on training. Because from invoice you go know and say now young man now on training for they can't begin a call they can't actable to people.
You know,
all right. I think yes, sir.
Mr.
There's some more
Leone,
Go ahead. Yeah.
it's time we make Sierra Leoneans then realize say a country is the property of everybody born in that country, not for a few. And this associative thinking about me na SLPP, me na APC law put aside. Some of us have more to offer Sierra Leone than some of these people coming to tell us now misinformation. And some of us have offered to Sierra Leone what some of you can never offer. I spent 20 years of my life working for Sierra Leone. I have created people. If Julius Madabio, if I had gone to teach at the Bow School in 1979, I would have taught him. So what they can, not so for can condemn or this with the can for, they look out for the good of Sierra Leone. And the good of Sierra Leone is what is safe for the people of Sierra Leone. Government is not do as you like. It's do according to standards and policies for things to work for the greater majority. If you have your issues about your political association, please go and enjoy Sierra Leone. If you're in America right now, if you say all that is going on in Sierra Leone is bright and beautiful, why are you still in America? If I feel safe to be in Sierra Leone, maybe I'll take a 20 million or 30 million investment there. But because I know there are no systems in that place, I cannot risk myself going there to invest because I'm not going to do sympathy. I'm going there to do something that will be sustainable and with an empathetic mind so that generations will benefit from it. Hey, this vex station owner, if now make we all vex. So I don't go tight for Boku people. So Lord put we mind and down, or Lord put we heart and down. Please. This thing is going too fast. When I begin talk, hey, the opposed government, I get right for opposed government as a citizen. And I'm not afraid to oppose government. If you want to oppose me, oppose me. If you want to insult me, if you're right, you're right. If you're not right, fine. There's nothing about that. I'm not emotional about that. And I don't think I get more rights than anybody in Sierra Leone. So do allow begin behave with self.
Okay, I think one emphasis we get for Lay, this is not to even say about government. We talk about public safety. And
Exactly.
it just so happened that like Mochuka, Airline, the government gave for given certain permissions for operate. We just simply to say the caller, your family can be part of them. Your distant relatives. We just say for we're all good, let we make sure say the officials or who are in charge, just make sure say, because the facts are clear, that this plane, regardless of where it is going to be flying, is going to be using the name Air Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
It is going to be flying to different places within the continent of, let's say, not to England, because this Mr. Lavalley was trying to make a big issue as to where the plane is flying. But we are saying Sierra Leoneans getting on board, flying to anywhere, is risky. That's all it is. There's no misrepresentation there. So, and we also encourage people, if you get some contribution, when I stop for reduce some of them presentation here into two things, opposing government and opposing the SLPP. It has nothing to do with either. Not trending issues.
It has anything to do with that. It's our
But
right.
I don't want to go in that direction because we want. I agree with you, Mr. Jamboria, but I don't want them to characterize what we know they talk about. We talk about public safety, so it's clear.
Exactly.
Mr. Lavalley is totally disinterested in public safety. Is more into protecting image of whatever
Of the party. If the party is doing well, go to Sierra Leone. Don't be in America. And I go try for Fenya. Yes, when Donald Trump starting, one of the people they go send back.
Hello, caller. What's your name? Who's are you to call from? Hello, caller.
No, excuse me.
Yes.
So Mustafa the caller. That makes me laugh.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mustafa.
So,
thanks for calling.
The thing is that una not take these things in the other way. Because me I tell una for fact say this aeroplane or business is dead on arrival. All the one that talk so. If they put that flight, they not go take them. So now just they try for talk about an issue here based on one fact. This now they talk about the governance issue. Where they unbox Sierra Leone. If we not solve this problem, we not go see an issue, we face them as the issue there. We are talking here about public safety last time when I talk. The plane, waiting the Lavalley talk, not to say it wrong, it correct say they say the plane not the car England, because the only car England not now 189 passengers, then one go rent. Now then go rent some more. This one now Africa flight, now local flight. That is true. But that's not say if even this now Africa flight, these are people flying. These are people's fathers, mothers from the land where they take care of people for allow them and go fly and go die. So the problem is they become emotional because people are criticizing the government. But if now APC didn't power so today, believe me, these people will agree with you. Say this plane gets safety issues. So therefore should not be encouraged. But if no one left this power, it did like I did so. Salona will go before. Because people when they see the governance issues, particularly I go put party say SNPP, APC they give vote now the northwest, then they get southeast vote. Now democracy then they. This is not tribe issue. If you go take your tribe, you put them against another tribe. And then Urabo Kupas in company, now they win election. So you don't do it like that. When we start talking about this issue, and so that we solve this problem. This should have been something we will all for united, together. We fight these issues. Say, papa, when they count plane na this country for can fly. Now count one because look at what you have to go. Where Ethiopia they want to make their flight, they buy all new planes. Senegal they buy new planes them all. All the countries they make they buy new plane them. You never go take 20-year plane, you see they can run. Like what Mr. Jamboya say, then they decommission them. I know about public transport in Belgium. Boston says a bus. As bus don't pass 10, 15 years old, then they decommission the bus. Not until they fly up. So if we not try for tackle this issue of governance, we will make sure see the Southeasterners then get government where if they do bad thing, they go criticize them. The Northwesterners, if they do bad thing, they go criticize them. We have held Belgium elections in June. Till today they don't get government. It's why? Because they never negotiate for the common interest. Then the common then they look for 30 this way, they never negotiate. After that thing, they don't this no, then pull them, they seal them, all man sign. Believe me, smooth running till the 4 year dog. So, but we don't get them. Today, the people are just galvanized, energized. For say anybody who criticize the enemy, now post we no patriotic. Anyway, we not take them that way. Then people are all they don't take that plane. They only talk to nobody take them. They just want out some things here we don't get the business. Anyway, I'll call back later. No, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello, caller. What you know your name? Where you call from? Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Yes, sir.
Caller.
Hello?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Are you having a genuine problem?
Hello,
Hello.
Mr. Lavali, they call from
Okay.
Ohio. First
Okay.
of all, I'm driving. If my voice is
Okay.
going up, it's because of the wind around me. And so
Okay.
that misinformation or that judgment where that caller say me the knock table, not to table at the knock. I'm driving 80 miles an hour as I'm talking to
Okay.
you. So if my voice
Okay.
change, I'm raising my voice so that you hear me. And Mr.
Okay.
The speaker, you get where they near you, and not even know what thing they do right now, where they cause me for make I able for talk with my voice loud. And just sit down yonder and make up story, say I'm angry. I'm not angry.
Okay.
I'm raising my voice because I'm driving 80 miles an hour. And the people say the wind around me, now they allow me for my voice is audible. That's one thing.
Okay.
So
Your
that
point is well
misconception
taken.
where I don't get already about me is wrong.
Don't worry
I
about
just
that.
want to clarify
Don't
that.
get to the
Second
substance.
of all,
Don't get to the.
I want to make sure say the information where they talk about in this moment, now information where I receive from the AYB TV, Sierra Leone. Everybody in Sierra Leone, we are all obligated for check na Salome news for know what they go on a Salome. So
We know
if
what
I
you go on,
choose
Mr.
for
Lavalier.
check na Salome news,
Mr.
for make
Lavalier,
I
you don't
find
want
out
to waste.
what
You
is
don't
the
want to
true
waste the
information.
time.
What is the Director General of Civil
Oh,
Aviation
listen, you
come
repeat.
on
You
the
are
air
repeating.
to speak
Listen.
and they talk
You are
about
repeating.
data?
Let me use.
I think
Listen, my friend.
if I see misinformation, I will talk am. One of the
Now stress get for kill you.
Mr. Lavalier, we want that you use your time wisely. Any misinformation, tell us what the misinformation is.
I will
Tell us
tell
what's
you
the
now.
misinformation.
The misinformation way when I don't parry is when I say the government say
When I say government, we're not ever refer to
2 year
government. But go ahead.
old the aircraft. Where when I say now 20-year old the aircraft. I'm just trying to tell you that the 2-year aircraft now get for the fly from Gatwick
Okay,
to
we
Sierra
agree. Don't
Leone,
waste time on this.
Well,
What
let
about
me
this plane?
picture of
What
that
about
it's
this
a
plane where
Boeing,
we discussed?
it's a Boeing flight.
Let me see
Mr. Lavali,
picture of
Mr.
that
Lavali,
aircraft.
no, we don't
They
go
don't
over
show
that.
me
Okay,
picture
this
of the
flight,
20-year-old
are you saying
aircraft.
this flight here? We are talking about this flight, this plane. Is it safe to fly? Will you fly on it?
The way you the talk says is so insightful. You not even get ethics of
But Mr. Lavali, mind your language, please. I'm not
talking
No,
about me.
insightful.
They talk
we
with
don't know
anger.
who this guy is.
And
He's getting so upset about. We don't understand. That's not
Why
the
are
purpose
you
for calling
upset?
this show.
What is wrong with you?
Why are you so upset?
Do you
they
think
raise
you
the
are
voice.
talking to hustlers or beggars, Mr. Lavali?
Oh, what is the purpose for you being so upset? Why are you so angry?
Some of us are not hustlers or beggars, oh.
First of all, I'm not angry.
You are.
I've just told you I'm driving 80 miles an hour. What is it you
We
cannot
don't care
understand
about
on
that.
that language?
Okay,
We don't
all
care
right.
about that. Just be civil.
All right. But thank you so much for calling. Hello, caller. What's your name? Who's you call from? Hello, caller. You know, he's obviously angry for whatever reason. Because
You know,
it try.
they make
The point where he try to
unrealistic
make.
excuses.
Yeah, what the point he's
Mr.
trying to make.
Mr. Shillon, you drive like everybody drives. If you are driving 80 miles an hour, except if you are driving an open-end vehicle where
I
air
was
is
just going
flown,
to.
I disturb you. But if
Yeah,
you're
of
driving
course.
at 80 miles an hour in this part of the world, all your windscreen is up, all your glasses are up, then
Particularly
it
this
should
time
not
of the year.
disturb you.
Particularly this time of the
You
year,
see,
it's
people
cold
like
season.
this and have cheap minds and then they deal with. Some of us are very complex intellectually. Well, they can't tell you what misbehavior and this and that. Mind your language, Mr. Lavali.
Then he's saying
I
no
don't come
upset.
to social media to look for cheap popularity. I don't come to social media to look for an income. I'm a pensionist. And I'm proud of what I have achieved in my life. We're not the hustlers, them. Oh. Now, the America, they hustle. Now, when you don't talk to them, go send money for you. Una get for begin behave on ourselves. Now, we all get salon. This issue about not for SLPP, it's getting too far, Mr. Shillon. Since independence, now this rubbish with Japan, I make a land, we'll get the potential for be the richest country in Africa still they so. What they try for make and clear, people and they can't tell we. If we are not put on a vexation done, if some of we vex, along go tight for everybody.
But I would just appreciate if he could just, because the distinction we try to make, we even accept that, say, okay, not to that flight today, go England. But the main point
Well,
here in air safety.
Where they go England. Show we. Because what you would see in the public space, now 5N stroke BZN.
Precisely. But
show me not can they kind of if they're stupid.
But also, not only for sure, but he disputes the fact that that plane they will see so has never been involved in a crash. That plane they not go picture in South Africa. That plane they not 20 years old. That plane day is questionable with respect to its airworthiness. So mean that I want for you. If you can just tell we say, would they give me some information because the plane is not that particular plane day, not 20-year-old. They tell we say it's 21, they get packed. Fine. If you tell we say that plane, that plane has never been involved. But regardless of where it's flying to, whether in England or not, we are talking about Australians getting on board to fly somewhere. Who's a crash in Nigeria and Africa, not to Europe. Now Africa, this plane crashed. So we they talk about say it will crash again. I mean, I do not get
Mr. Shillon, as I just type XCJet on the browser, everything on the plane, on the page that came up is about 5MBZN and what happened at Murtala Mohammed Airport.
Yeah.
International lie.
It don't crash in Africa. But in
XCJet, where they can run here, Sierra Leone, get another aircraft, let them show you the picture. Short and simple. But for somebody they can't do spinning. Anyone can insult people them. Because people when they talk about public safety, I think that is going too far. And I'll let Mr. Lavalley and whoever get that opinion I had no say, there are international jurisdictions that I can charge you for defamation. I don't want to go that far, but let's begin respect that space. I can charge you for defamation. If you cannot tell me saying I'm misinformation, I can able prove I'm in a court of law saying not to misinformation. And there are consequences you'll face. This thing about politics, SLPP, this and that, no, put and down. Sierra Leone is bigger than all of us. Sierra Leone is bigger than political parties. It's bigger than Julius Madabio. It's bigger than Anescoma. It's bigger than Boijalo Jamboria. And Sierra Leone has to continue after us. If we cannot do what is right for Sierra Leone today, generations yet unborn will blame us. If we not allow do that work there, we are not able to silence some of you. Mr. Lavalley, I swear to God, we are not able to silence some of you. So now we reach a point of compromise.
All right, let me take one more call, then we'll go to the next issue. Hello, caller. What's your name side to call from?
Yes. Now good afternoon or good morning. This is Press. How would they do?
Fine, sir. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I really like the topic. I'm glad Ibembe when I bring up this topic back because yesterday I not get chance for multiple this main topic. I think the majority of what they say are right. The only side no more that man Eden Owayoba. The only side who say right. I will say when he say he had no one, you know, because the man say when they say the man he had one, the man say he had no one, you know. But I know what they say. When they talk about safety first, the safety of Sierra Leoneans, and it's important. We need to know what's the regulation. The Sierra Leone government put sober regulation for safetyness. If an accident happen, then we're able to compensate them people then well, or on our waiting to happen in a salon when he then a bike, somebody get accident, then they be compensated for the accident. They go bumping, and in order for be the same thing. What would they talk now? Is about safetyness, and our flight. You know, a few weeks ago I be there in the UK. A lot of them they're against these flights. They know say the number one thing that they worry about is it safe. That's the first question, safetyness, which is valid. It's a valid question, you know. But I think what's happening in Sierra Leone, we lack self-esteem. We lack self-esteem in many areas. Because few months ago, we not bring a program when a Nigerian company defraud a university.
Yep, we did. I'm at.
In the 80s, Ronald Reagan, America, president in the 80s, he said something very important. He said when they do business with the Russians, I'm not getting nothing against Russia. He said when they do business with the Russian, keep in mind that they will cheat, they will lie, they will manipulate, all those sort of things. When they do business with Nigerians people, then we Sierra Leoneans, we need to be very cautious. Cautious when they do business with Nigerians. Nigerian people then are opportunistic people then. They know how to make money anyhow. And then continent na Sierra Leone end up for benefit or na Nigerian company end up for benefit out of Sierra Leone and them. That's the question. We need to ask that question there. Is it Salon will not just get toll, tolling not get light. Now Sierra Leone and they benefit from them thing and they from that project. We need to ask questions. What una they do? Una they on the right path. Don't get me wrong. You know, Mr. Jabber, they don't say everything that is right. But some Sierra Leonean them are not able to separate them party loyalty to nation first. Nation and the people first as a Sierra Leonean.
All right. Unfortunately, the machine cut you off because the 3 minutes and the extra don't take place. So, well, we don't talk about this issue much. I think we can talk about more. But we want to talk on one or two other issues. But I don't then say if anybody want call on this issue, when we move to the next issue, please feel free for call and express yourself. So we go talk about that because we say we want people for come up with any ideas, but we still encourage people and say, please, please, please. If you can only take, listen, I do not understand because I remember one time, some time ago, when I be the talk or my comments not look go well with one of the listeners, the lady said to me, not to honest Koromadina power. Why you talk about them? I said, so she was upset with me because I talk about APC in the way we not like them. And I say, well,
people are. We now want to face the truth about ourselves.
So I understand the passion, but we just call the shot winner like referee. If the ball go over, we say over. If it go goal, we say goal. If now offside, we say offside. You may not like the call, but we know the try for and criticize. Unfortunately or fortunately, it depends. We just talk about public safety, but like the gentleman from England called, Mr. Mustafa, he said even Mr. Lavalier with the show passion like so, he may not be willing to do a test flight on that plane day where they say, would misrepresent, but even with the show and the picture of the plane, the number of the plane, the fact that the plane, not discreet, none of that. Any own controversy is owner to that plane for going England. Well, we don't see the one with the going England. With the top of watching the show we so far. Yeah. So, but he say ignore that. Just go by waiting and say then go provide. But when they say we're not going to ignore that because already they say now this go fly in Africa. It's still dangerous. You see, in Africa, that very plane they and crash. Now Murtala Mohammed Airport, not to London, not to England, so it can crash again. You see, so we just want to make you understand the issue here. So the issue is not trying to criticize a government. That's not the issue with the talk about public. In other words, we try to put on the government in mind. They then take the right step for all protections, including themselves and their relatives. That's all we're saying. All right. So, Mr. Jambore, if you have any comments, you can comment, then we can go forward.
Now we go to the next topic, sir. I don't waste my energy on irrelevance.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I go ask the control room for when they talk about Parliament, where the school, the media, and now we talk about government. Parliament is part of government, but Parliament is not BO government, a separate thing. So one for let them put some public notice where Parliament put out. One read them, then we'll go analyze them. We all, for love of country, again, Mr. Lavalley, if you listen, please, you're welcome. We love you, or I love you. So please, no, we're not try to keep you away. I mean, call if you get a question about this too. Let me read this. The Speaker of Parliament of Sierra Leone Parliament, Sengbe Thomas, or Segipo Thomas, sorry for the mispronunciation, has cautioned social media users of contempt of Parliament. Contempt of Parliament, which is the obstruction of parliamentarians on Parliament or Parliament in carrying out its duties, is seen as a form of protection of the integrity and authority of Parliament. Okay, whatever that sentence they mean. The Speaker warned locals of contempt as in the 1991 Constitution, which could be aided by the cyber law to prosecute people that fall short. Okay, there is vagueness here, but let us continue. The Speaker's attention on this, I guess this issue, but not say so, was brought to by the leader of government business, Matthew Sa Numa, who referenced Section 95 of the 1991 Constitution, which protects the obstruction. Okay, the wording of this write-up is not quite correct, but what protects the obstruction of Parliament and its officials in the discharge of their duties by individuals or groups. Okay. Newman said this section is not in any way serving as deterrent for people not to express their views, but rather to protect officials of the House. The public can understand that we don't want them to say that we are trampling on their civic rights, but also to be aware that there are others too who need to be protected. I guess the others are the parliamentarians. He added that these citizens should respect Parliament, which he referred to as the House of Responsibility. People cannot go to social media and try to bastardize us, whatever that means. You must say, we are public figures, but that does not mean that you don't have to respect us. We are also fathers and mothers. Well, all this statement, this broad statement, I haven't seen what the bastardization or the disrespect. I don't see any fact will lead to all of that. These are just accusations. So this is what he said. So they say Parliament gave a stern warning about contempt of Parliament and obstruction of parliamentary proceedings. Well, you see, again, this leaves us wide room for just speculate, because we're not getting no factual basis here, because nothing was actually cited as to what led to this stern warning by Parliament, other than the broad generalities that the parliamentarians, they need protection, but no accusation about anybody's life was threatened, anybody's safety was threatened. So the issue of protection, I don't seem to understand it in this context. If the issue is criticism of the parliamentarians then by the press, because they say the media, isn't that their job?
No, I think it's there, sir. It's there. I said Newman's outburst in the well followed several social media posts on the Finance Act, which was in Parliament passed last week. The Act approved some tax increments, including a 5% increment on imported rice, Sierra Leone staple food, starting in January 2026.
Yeah,
you see,
but you said, what's at the wrong, Naya? Because if they talk about the act, so I still don't get the issue here. What is wrong?
I would say this, whether they take it as obstruction or insult, I don't care, because their cyber law does not cover me. And I would say it, if they tamper with my device, it's a $500,000 charge for the company we do that in there. I am covered by the European Union law of protection. Okay? You see, Parliament should not be a place for pettiness. This is pettiness at its highest. This Finance Act where people and they talk about on social media, Mr. Shillon, it's on the internet. I challenge everybody for just write Finance Act of 2024 of Sierra Leone. You will see it there. It is posted on the page of the Ministry of Finance, on the Sierra Leone Parliament, etc., etc. And the people have a right to discuss a document that has been made public. On the Finance Act itself, when it was passed in 2024, 5% was put on rice, and it was implemented in January. On the same very act, within the same box, it is stated that in January of 2026, this tax will be increased to 10%. Now they've decided to suspend it to 2026. If people use that information on social media, where is the obstruction?
Yeah.
For God. Where is the obstruction? The information is public. It's on the internet. And people have a right to read and interpret, giving their opinions. There is no law in Sierra Leone that stops the citizen of Sierra Leone from giving their opinions, because the basic fundamentals of the Constitution, chapters 1 to 3, give the people the right to express their opinion. I challenge the members of Parliament to read chapters 1 to 3, where they have the right to express their opinions. And let them tell me, if people then talk about Finance Act, if no obstruction. And let them tell me, the very act where they're on the internet, where you can Google them, Sierra Leone Finance Act 2024, you get them on PDF. It's on the government Ministry of Finance website, USAID and Statham, Stamp Duty Act, Cap 274, Amendment of Schedule A of Cap 274. Then Campa Amendment of Schedule A of Act number 16 of 1978, HS Code 1006 Rice, 5% effective 2024. 10% effective 2025. Cement, iron rod, all day they cooking gas. Where is this obstruction, for God's sake? Ebo, na left for open call with people, Lembo. Open call not a part of governance, please.
Mr. Jambora, if you can read the last paragraph, please go ahead and read the last paragraph.
This one?
Yes.
Locals were massacred.
No, Numa's outburst.
Okay, Numa's outburst. Now you have been read this now.
Okay, read the one below that.
Locals went berserk both on and off social media, criticizing parliamentarians and the government of being unreasonable considering the current economic hardship in the country. I would subscribe to that. It's unreasonable. Not when you have stagflation in a country, when they go and begin put tax on people them. And I'm sure, because this act had been approved and passed in Parliament, they did delay it to 2026 because of the social media outburst. So they are being responsive to social media. Instead of social media being obstructive, they are being responsive, which is good for Sierra Leone. I think parliamentarians need to grow up, bro. And I need for grow up. Now me say.
So they need to understand. they need for understanding role as parliamentarians. Obviously, people reacting and making critical comments about the increase, I don't think how that should be obstructing parliament. In fact, because in fact, the word obstruct, the law has already been passed. So where's the obstruction? The act has already been gone through. Then they say contempt, where you can only be contemptuous when you're in violation of. Yeah,
For a law
you can
I
only,
don't pass.
yeah, where people
If
just
people
announce,
comment say this law not good for winner contempt,
or if people voice their dislike or displeasure with the law, how can that
as
be
a matter of
contemptuous?
fact, if we have to be procedural, it was Parliament that was contemptuous. Before they pass laws about some of them things that are involving tax and the welfare of the people, you suppose for go to the people and ask them, get their views. Do a survey. Was a survey done before this 2024 Act was passed in Parliament? In this country that I live, if they want for do any modification or amendments, any side, if they want for change certain laws, then they do maybe 3 or 6 months mass survey, talk to the people, get their opinion. Newspapers will come with views about it. People discuss it before finally, then they go for pass them into law. If una don't go pass law, una no ask the people them. Then the people then say this law not good for we. Is that obstruction? Is that obstruction? May somebody answer to that question.
And the other twist to that, Parliament is not there in a law enforcement business. So they're not, then does they pass laws, the enforcement there with the executive. So you can see, in fact, trampling on the executive then prerogative. So the issue of, and you cannot obstruct after the fact. You have to, you go obstruct while the process was ongoing. So now, if Parliament they try for do enforcement, if indeed people are being in contempt of any sort, or particularly the obstruction, they want for, I don't know the mechanism by which people, when instead of giving stern warning, what are people supposed to do? Don't amplify the law anymore when Parliament pass a law. Just roll over and accept it. Don't disagree. Don't express displeasure with the law. I mean, it's so hard. So it just makes you wonder: do our parliamentarians they understand their role? And again, for the people who would listen to we try for people and for understand, say this is not fair to the people. I mean, because to me, this is being contemptuous of the people. Because when no one for take into account the people and feeling when I want exercise sheer power. Now with the power, say 10%, 10%. We don't care what I affect. You see, I'm again going to we beloved caller. Something like this, they affect with people all over the country. They affect APC, they affect SAPP, they affect NGC. So I do not understand how people can defend some of them and act there. The parliamentarians are definitely confused. And Mr. Yuma.
Mr. Shillon.
Yes, sir.
Just to disprove their misinterpretation of the Constitution. One of the fundamental articles of the Constitution in Chapter 2, it say, number 5(2), the Republic of Sierra Leone shall be a state based on the principles of freedom, democracy, and justice. Subsection 2, it is accordingly declared that sovereignty belongs to the people of Sierra Leone, from whom government, through this constitution, derives its power, authority, and legitimacy. I want to let the parliamentarians and tell me who side the obstruction come out with this part of the constitution. Sovereignty belongs to the people. If you pass a law they don't like, they have a right to say we don't like it. It's not obstruction.
No. I mean, obstruction is so far-fetched. I do not understand why a parliamentarian go
Some of
even
these
say that,
guys
and then
go back to school.
why the speaker, if I go take upon himself for even give a stern warning to the public. So when laws
They
are
want
passed,
to employ idiocy.
it's just perplexing that the speaker could do that, because when Mr. Yuma approach and begin say all of that, it will seem to me, the speaker being a lawyer, it will seem to me, and I aim for say, well, we cannot trample on the free speech of the people. Let them express them pleasure or displeasure, and this criticism goes with the territory as a parliamentarian. It goes with the job. People will disagree with you and people will say things. They're not threatening you. I mean, I make it say, I don't see any facts. I put all the generalization, they've even using the word bastardization, all this kind of thing. I saw no empirical evidence we should see any parliamentarian in life or safety was threatened. It's just ordinary words people are expressing displeasure. Now, I cannot see how people don't believe in that. So they believe, say, once they need the power structure, people should just accept whatever they say. And again, I always can make this comment. We government and we parliamentarians and believe, say, laws are made for ordinary people, they not get for comply. Any laws will then pass, not for them, not for the ordinary person.
But
You
the
see, because
constitution is there to protect the people's rights.
Exactly. But so I don't know how many of them have taken the time to read it, which is part of the orientation maybe they need to go through. And another thing Parliament need to have, they need to have a legal and ample legal staff. Way before even the speaker make that stern, what they describe as stern warning, he should have consulted with in legal department, say, I want to issue a warning to the general public. I mean, is that something I can do? Or will I be trampling on people than constitutional rights? So this thing about the protection of people and rights, the constitution will become useless if it's all a matter of show of power.
Yeah.
And nothing else. You see? So now
Even
we jump for
this now, Mr. Shillon, see of and say the participation of the people in the governance of the state shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. People don't have to go and sit in parliament to be participants. They have to voice their opinions. They have to ask questions. They have to cooperate on projects, etc., etc. So how can you say it's obstruction when the constitution provides for the people's participation? And it is one of those entrenched clauses that cannot be easily amended. Ebo, this dictatorship we now create in Salon, they work. They work fail.
But it's not even fair. It's not even fair for say people cannot even voice a displeasure, and the newspaper then get a role for play. You say they're not for publish anything. In fact, to the point of trying to actually pervert the cyber law for something as ordinary or as common as a form of disagreement or expression of disagreement with the government. Say we might even use the cyber law, and the cyber law was, as far as we know, was passed to protect the country in the event of any type of social or military threat, and or some gross invasion or violation of laws. So now just expressing displeasure with Parliament can be in violation of the cyber law. I plead with the Speaker and Parliament want to not weaken the cyber law like that, because it should be a law where really for deal with something substantive, something of substance. So we just want to bring this point up for say Parliament, now the executive, now then they control law enforcement. So that's the prerogative of the executive, the president and his people. Parliament will not pass on a law. People criticize and criticize. If anybody take offense to that, let the government itself engage or embark upon any type of prosecution for expressing displeasure. But I cannot understand. I think it's improper for Parliament for issue any type of warning, let alone stern warning, telling people what would not pass law, would dare anybody for express, and when I dare the press, because I think this is against the press, would dare any press for write about that. I think that's going too far. So we just want to bring that up.
One thing they are failing to understand, the press in Sierra Leone is no longer local, it's international. I have a platform, I can say anything about Sierra Leone on it. Your cyber law has nothing to do with me. I'm covered by the European cyber regulations. And if you offend me, I can take a case against the internet supplier who gave you that information, and it's the minimum fine is $500,000. This open call law left. This is the 21st century, bro. Dictatorships are dying. They are. This cyber law, some of us know more about cyber issues. But no one for Canada, they talk about that because it's like I will be boasting. There are media that are not controlled by the Sierra Leone Parliament. And added to that, the Constitution of Sierra Leone gives every Sierra Leonean a right to free speech. If I say something, you want to trample on it, I'll take a case against the government of Sierra Leone. It will be a test case. I swear to God.
So again, in the spirit of representation, I want people to realize and to know that one, we deal with trending issues in Sierra Leone. Two, we bring them here to the attention of Sierra Leoneans at home and abroad. And three, we solicit the contribution and the suggestion of Sierra Leoneans who have something to say about it, and in a way, indirectly, bring the government to attention to do better. So they try to do a constructive, they try to take a constructive approach to letting the government become aware. So if nobody had said to Parliament, this is something you can do, now we want them to know it is. But we always say at this show also, we not get a monopoly on knowledge or ideas. If the government itself, and we invite them all the time, they have open invitation. If the government disagrees, just like I will be talk about the plane, okay, this privately owned company where they carry the name of Sierra Leone. Let's say if anybody within the government feels we're not adequately presented the case in the best light favorable, you are welcome. There's an open invitation. Call your producer, call we head office, just say, hey, look, there was something presentation that was made to which we get a rebuttal. We would like to come on your show. You're welcome. And we get several shows, you can pick anyone. So because we want good information to go to the public, we want things for better for the people. So we're not a propaganda source for put any party down or put anyone down. But if it happens that somebody do something or fail for do something, where we think say we'll get for link, we will say so. But that should not be taken as having anything personal against the person. We are talking, we're in a public interest medium. The public interest we talk about. So if somebody understand that, and public interest, if you talk about the public interest, you not get for speaking in praise. You know, the government get their own propaganda setting where they go talking in praise of the government. That's fine. But that's not our role. Our role is to take a critical view of things that are unfolding in the country. So I want to let people understand, what in the spirit in which we're making them presentation here. Okay. So one last thing, I guess, before we go off the air, we have, I want to call we technical team for present a video. This again about just quality of education, which I'm sure to some it will be construed as a form of criticism, but we go say no, not to criticize what they criticize. We want to bring this video to the attention of the Minister of Education, because this video speaks for itself, and it happened right in the heart of where it's not supposed to happen. So let the video, please play the video for us, then we'll go comment about that, and we welcome people and for call also.
So now, when I look at school like this, when I look at school like this, I ask myself plenty questions. The school where me pikin they go, Queen Elizabeth, and they pay over 7 million euros for. Thai school, iron steel doors, in fact security guards. When I see structure like this, I ask myself, if na me be young pikin I go want for make it attend school here, the question is no. I am sure if I go ask them at district council personnel, if na the young pikin they go want for make school enter here. If I go ask the councillor at this wall, they go want for make pikin attend here. If I go ask the honorable at this constituency, they go want for make pikin attend here. Of course, I know me young president, and we all with president, His Excellency, Dr. Julius Madabio, retired general. He not go love for system like this. Because as somebody will get passion for education. Where a flashy program like education, he not go want for situation like this. Now what is so beat me imagination down? I can see a wonder blackboard. So wonderful, technological blackboard that I've never seen in the world. Blackboard where it accommodate class 1 and class 2 where the teacher. Let's see the wonder blackboard. You go surprised for see this wonderful blackboard. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to this is the wonderful blackboard. Most wonderful blackboard. This is the most wonderful blackboard. Most wonderful blackboard. Class 1 to class 2. These are the blackboard this one they use. Point the camera. Look them picking there. They don't get no sitting accommodation. No decks. It's in the ground. They're not even paid. Look. Look the most wonderful blackboard. These are the most wonderful blackboard. When I look at this blackboard, water run me eye. When I look at this blackboard, I ask myself, why should I pay tax? When I look at this blackboard, what it make I vote for a councillor? What it make I vote for honorable? What it make I cast me vote in this country? Right inside Kenema, this look at the most wonderful blackboard, ladies and gentlemen. The most wonderful blackboard. Let's go. See, these are the most wonderful blackboard where it is class 1 to class 2. Class 1 to class 2. The most wonderful blackboard. Sierra Leoneans, Which education this go portray to the world? Which lesson we think say them picking they are go learn by looking at this blackboard? Even the pot cover where they use now the host is valid past this blackboard. Even the slippers when they use is powerful past this, it costly past this blackboard. Look at these wonderful children. Promise the children. Can we call them the future leaders of tomorrow? How they go look when we call them future leaders of tomorrow? Then they learn per blackboard like this. How when I come. How we call them picking them? These are the future leaders of tomorrow. No, not to the all. I don't want to know. These are the future leaders of tomorrow. Then they learn per blackboard like this. Fine picking them. So promising. So promising. Yes, say we are part of Sierra Leone. Yes, say their parents pay taxes. They pay due. They contribute towards the development of Sierra Leone. Yes, say they can campaign to we vote for us. Look at this type of blackboard. Sierra Leoneans, look at this type of blackboard. Now this them became the land pan. Which lesson? They don't get pencil. Some don't even get shoes for kind school. They don't get uniform. They don't even get slate for write upon it. Which lesson when they go learn? The wonderful blackboard. Most wonderful blackboard. Which lesson? Pause. Stop. Give me a snapshot.
All right. Now, my co-host, Mr. Jamboria, na teacher. Let me just make me really uneducated comment before I make a talk. Now, anybody who go look at this presentation, look at that video there. You know, get touched by it. You know, get hurt. Because them picking here, it no matter if na Kenema dende, it no matter if na Bo dende, it no matter if na Kalaun dende, it no matter if na McKinney dende, it no matter if na Kabbalah dende. This is cruelty. This is abandonment. But would they bring this to the government, their attention? Because the president, that's why he has ministers. He gets ministers of information, of education. In addition, there's another layer of Eastern Province minister. Okay? There are layers upon layers upon layers of ministries and ministers. Wait for make something like this not happen. But look at the abject cruelty here. Look at that buffer there. Look at the condition. How do you learn if you don't get paper, you don't get desk? Which one will minister and go school in such condition? But there are some people who could say, we're not for point that out. We're not for bring that out. Well, we're not going to be related to them picking here because we don't know who's going to be a mother bio tomorrow. Okay, we don't know who's going to be an Aneskuroma tomorrow. We don't know who's going to be a Tijan Kaba or Shaka Stevens. So we for treat them with the utmost care and concern that they get the potential for lead the country. Now, sometimes the disappointment I can express, a good many of who ministers them, their background, not to the school where they attend, but the home where they come out reflect exactly this. A lot of them, most of the ministers, they know what poverty is. They know. They're acting like they all come on a middle class or upper class home. No, most of them come on a very poor home. You know, they know what poverty is, but now they're in power. They pretend like they don't care. They not to look back and say, I know how it felt when I was in this situation. So let me just turn it over. But we think, say, it's a trending issue, is worthy of being presented to the public. And again, anybody is free to take issue with we. And we just say, these are things we welcome. If the Minister of Education or Mr. Lavalier or anybody feels that this is misrepresentation, give us a call. You're free. You always will be welcome. Give us a call and defend this situation. Mr. Jamboria, I turn it over to you, sir.
First and foremost, that video we'll see. Nothing other than that thing they will qualify as a school.
Of course.
Nothing. It's just a gathering of children to waste their time. And the next thing is, we have to be careful about the way they handle education in Sierra Leone. First and foremost, education has to be a measure of social value. Secondly, education is the channel through which you promote the culture of the land. There are several other things I may not go into because I don't want to waste time. If education has to be a measure of social values, does this measure our social value? It doesn't. If education has to be a channel through which you promote the culture of a social group or a society, is this the way we are promoting our culture, by traumatizing the children at an early stage? Because what in this thing they do, it is psychologically traumatize them peculiar for degrade and debase the process of education. Just like when you make teacher they go teach empty stomach, torn shirt, patched trousers, broken shoe, you dey undermine the value of education to the pikin. Because psychologically they send a message say, but this man they can't tell me this thing, look in condition. Are we traumatizing our children for them to become future rebels? Because this is exactly what this is presenting. Why shouldn't the state not be able to take care of its responsibilities? If this can happen in the stronghold of the ruling government, then we are right to imagine something worse happening in other parts of Sierra Leone that are not considered to be the stronghold of the ruling government. So the question is this flagship really a flagship or a quota ship? Because if you say education is your flagship, then you have to put in resources into it. And resources have to translate in the infrastructure, equipment, and teaching, quality of teaching. But nothing here shows that. Nothing. Or is the flagship about privatizing education? Because this man begin for tell we in Pekin they go na school where they pay 7 million. Okay, if we are going to privatize education, have we thought about the consequences, the long-term consequences? Because when you privatize education, you make them expensive, it becomes a privilege. Those who are not privileged to attend, when they grow up, they become criminals. They become rebellious. They become radicalized. Would you have the resources to control them at that time? If you are going to spend 10 billion 10 years from now to control criminals, and if you should spend 4 billion to make sure all the people today don't become criminals tomorrow, which one is the best option? These are the questions we need to be asking in Sierra Leone. Because when you pass people and through, and we have to understand, say, growth na continuous process, you know, they wait for time. If I didn't go to school at the time I had to go to school, if I didn't study what I had to study at that time, I wouldn't be sitting here talking like I'm talking today. It's not about whether I come up from a rich home or a poor home. It's about me going through a process will give me a frame of mind for think outside being a criminal. Or do we want to convert the whole country into a country of criminals? Because this what's in the go on, so then be care. If they continue with this kind of environment, believe me, you by JSS, then they become hardened criminals. With a great trauma in the society because few people want for they take money put in them pocket. When you talk them, the one then they come for tell you misinform, criticize. I have a right to criticize, even God. Not to nobody in business if I criticize God. And if I can criticize God, there is no human being that I cannot criticize. So now begin stop this pettiness na Sierra Leone. Because all them things here they go on. Because few people feel say when they are in power, they should do as they like. Nobody has a right to say a word. The point is, yes, we are looking at Kenema. We are looking at 2024. But let us ask, how did we get here? How did we get here? What was it like in yesteryears? And why is it not so today? At the time when I went to school, I started primary school at Songo. We been get that desk where then they put inkwell. You get that pen where then they give you na school for write with blotter. We been get that blackboard, small one, where they learn a BCPA. We been get plasticine and everything where they play with for be creative. Then I went to the secondary school. I went to schools that had equipped laboratories. Equipped. Then I went to university. From 1975 to 79, I had 3 meals a day. I had a place to sleep. My books were paid for. Then I had pocket allowance every term. How did we get here that we are today? That's the question for Sierra Leoneans. I think we get a caller, sir.
Okay. Now, thank you very much. Let me just announce to the audience that we will take at the most 2 more calls, and that's it because we don't exceed with 2-hour time. But let me take the first call. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you call from?
Yes, sir. Now me again, because I think Becca give me second contribution about, now link everything to economics because with the people, I always blame with the diaspora brothers them. You can't find education now, you can't find explain business, so why they for take the blame? Because we are ambassadors who come out outside, we don't see things them. They would try for tell leaders to let them do the right things. But if you show passion for support a political party, you will channel that passion for let you tell the leader, may you do the right thing. Look what you might have been do again. School, you see the school now, they're not getting nothing there. You don't hire back 1,000 teacher, 1,000 policemen, soldier man them, fire force them back. You don't even get fire force engine. It just don't hire them back. But then guy they always matter build they come outside, then they sit down in the club. None of them, no one will let succeed. Because if we look at my face, tell them, say, Papa, we know the do am so. Me, at the talk, I'm always na and the skoroma. Who say I must come out? Now I go school. I don't go school at the south, but something happen while I come come go school the under. We in the skoroma can at Belgium. We I be the Secretary General. Where I don't disagree with the Neskuruma and policies them. They say, go for a meeting for an Neskuruma. I say, I know you go there. Hey, they say, you know, the Secretary General. I say, no, I know you go. When I thought that, let me go get deputy. Me, I know you go there. Now, waste of time. I don't waste my time. Now, because I know say what thing come first, national alone. When people like, they support a political party, then you look at these things. Economically, this man, you know, able to do nothing. They're not able to tell him, when you clap, this don't like the whole then you clap. But then they clap. Everything is okay. Now look at the school inside Kenima. That is just an example of a school. You get thousands of those schools. And now they don't take education, they don't put them, per fraud. People in the go sit exam. I go count a report about education. I'm not going to pull out right now. Why me brother, still brother, they try for take exam if you go abroad. I go tell you now where that process done. The education what they talk about. Fraud education. The man who say not have no English. I go tell you now very, very shortly. Because they don't take everything and put politics inside it. Look at them picking there. If they start by this education, so how then would they take so they then they form 5? What do you go sabi? Because now then they start. But we get people in a they don't know, they die for SLPP. They don't look one man will be the kind of this program, they call him Ali, I think Emmanuel Ali, something like that. Now they go for the government as solution, don't they? If they talk, nothing. Mike Berawa, he don't have a state house, nothing. Chief Minister, he don't do nothing. All of these people cannot stand up to tell Mother BUC, economically, you can put this country. If we better move another direction. This is the reason why I took Mr. Lavali with the vex this no so we say no the vex. Channel this energy for tell Mother BUC, Papa, change course. This appointment we they make so money no day for run the country. It is still appoint people no more. Oh man, you know, obviously, if you can talk to this man, he go listen. Now because now we they talk, now make you know listen. If now then say talk, now we can talk about governance. Say if the Southeast Southerners they get in government, they not go allow this rubbish they happen. Then go talk. Anyway, I just be trying for like this last point. Well, thank you for the evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you calling. Let me take the last call.
No problem.
Hello, caller. What's your name? What's side you call from? Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Hello. Yeah, Mr. Shilon and Mr. Jalo Jamboya. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, this is Abdul call from Maryland.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to chime in to the two last segments the way we wanna just the deliberate on. With the parliamentary reaction, the speaker, especially the leader of government business, where it was so livid in criticism of public opinion, or it thin skin to criticism. Now, so as then the Speaker of Parliament is back and move. I just want to know, because I always talk say APC and SLPP then Chatu and Nawa, then Alusanya. They also so I can just sometimes I can just see that the last people they mark themselves for the two party them. Because I always say these two people there, the politics from time immemorial will become independent. It don't full of deception, trickery, chicanery, and subterfuge. That is all what has bedeviled our politics since independence. If I can take on a down memory lane, in 2019, where the parliament unanimously passed that unaccountable impress. I don't know if you remember about that. The unaccountable impress, that's for the president, vice president, they know they give account of the impress when they take, especially for overseas travel. Then the very parliamentarians, the first JJ Safawi, that was then the finance minister, for including the Speaker of Parliament, then Abbas Bundu. You know, now after you and cry from the civil society, the public, before they able for before the president get for write a letter to the Parliament, say they sign they sign that bill. because now the pressure where the public give. So you know they can't go in because the been dangerous part. Now in President Bio me the lead with so you go don't pass away. You successors them. You know what thing they're going to do with unaccountable interest. So now some of them think they are, you know, if they do perception survey some time back, they say Parliament are the second most corrupt institution. They vex for that. When I be Institute for Governance reform, we do that perception survey. Because that is people's perception. Because people are not seeing them doing their fundamental duty for oversight and all public officials accountable for what they do. This Telopia, I remember some time ago, was it 2019 or 2020? After that forensic audit where they call some Kenyan auditors them for can help them. I think Kenyan, Ugandan auditors them can help them. In interview where he give, he mentioned about that if the parliament they do in work, with they give anti-corruption, less work for do.
Exactly.
The report to the parliament. If they do their work diligently in the interest of the nation as a patriot, as patriotism, they get much work for them. Because now therefore they put the public officials their hand to the fire, but they're not they refuse to do that. Then if I go mention quickly about this school, it is shameful, it is pathetic. When would they see we own picking? They will not know who's one banana and day. When a bright mind, wait for be somebody, people that will go be instrumental in society, wait for help to nation building. Where would they deprive so? And you get honorable, you get member of parliament to come on that same place. You get mayors them, you get the councillors them. None of them are able to come to them picking and they employ and see let able to do something where we go make let them consider a conducive place for land. Government left stop for do lip service in this education. Then really need then therefore stop for the do this lip service. Because the waiting then they do and waiting then they scout. We know the commensurate. We know they see the convergence as far as
no, unfortunately, the technical team very strict with the buzz at this time. No one is spared. So, but we get the essence of waiting Abdul they talk about. Of course, with technical room say we lost the caller. So the call. So unfortunately, let Mr. Jamboria do the closing on this, and then we'll be through for the evening.
Mr. Shillon, at this material moment, Sierra Leone has a population of which 60% is below age 35. Okay? Then we get another percentage of younger people coming up where they are around 45% of we 8 million people. If we combine the age sector of we population, we look at those who are in need of education. So go get a labor force. We'll go take we country forward. Then we see a picture like this, they show we a school. Whose skills them begin and go learn through that process? Whose concept then go learn, we go translate into skills? When people then talk, other people and they come for create what in fear. The days of using fear on people is over. Now we take we country seriously. Sierra Leone has enough to run itself. Why are we failing? It's because of the way we think. Oh, this they criticize with government. Me, I go criticize My full name is Mohammed Boy Jalo Jamboria. I want the public to note that I will always criticize where there is need for criticism. If you don't like it, block your ear. If it's not good enough, bang your head against the wall. I don't care. It's my right as a citizen. It's my right as a trustee of the Republic of Sierra Leone. I call myself a trustee because I was born and bred in Sierra Leone. I served Sierra Leone up to 1998. I had to leave that country in a hurry. And now that I'm here, whatever is wrong there, I will say it. If you don't like it, block your ears. At worst, bang your head against the wall. You will die. I wouldn't. And if him honor you, keep yourself stressed up. The vex. Hypertension go kill you. Me then I'm a corner. They take life easy. So the best we can do, let we be reasonable. Let we listen to ourselves. Some things that they then tell you I'm not for your own good. There was a time I used to smoke cigarette. There were lots of people telling me, "What you don't smoke? Why this? Why that?" I refused to listen. It reached a point I naturally convinced myself that smoking was wrong, and I left it. And it is wrong, not because of anything. I left it. It's the same procedure. We are here to advise. If una listen, fine. If una not listen, una continue for create hardship na salon. You can push the people to the wall, but not through the wall. The day the people then go grab una for cut una head, that's how una they do. And that end they una not expect sympathy from you. I wouldn't give sympathy to somebody who I be don't tell say, law will not do so, law will do so. Do ya? Let we begin listen to ourselves. Sierra Leone needs to change. And there are a lot of things wrong. If we mention that this is wrong, it's not out of malice. It's out of goodwill for make Sierra Leone go before. If some of us had malice about Sierra Leone, we'll shut up. I would stay in Norway and die here. I would have a grave with a gravestone that will last for generations. Be great-great-grandpikin and go can and see the gravestone. But because we not get malice, now make they come na social media for say, this is not right. This is what is right. Let us do it this way. Anybody who gets another view about it, fine. And if you think that by saying it, we are not being patriotic, please be patriotic. Don't be in America or England telling us, all of us in the diaspora, that we are criticizing. Go to Sierra Leone, say it from Sierra Leone that we are criticizing. Then we'll know you mean business. Leave whatever you are doing in diaspora. Go to Sierra Leone because everything is bright and beautiful there. Then we'll know you mean business. And then some of us will keep quiet. We'll shut up. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. As a wrap up, just a brief commentary. When you look at them picking in there, I cannot help but think the short time where it could take them picking in the young as they look to become teenagers. Because every one of them where I see, 8 to 10 years from now, they are teenagers.
Yeah.
Matured enough physically, the girls are highly likely to end up being early mothers. Okay? Maybe like the way earlier caller say, we don't know which one among the girls could become a renowned surgeon, a renowned scientist, a renowned professor, a renowned engineer, a renowned lawyer, because they're all sitting there get the potential. But because of their circumstances, they may never rise up to the level of their potential. Particularly the girls are vulnerable. When they become teenagers, they are vulnerable to pregnancy. Then circumstances go drive them in that direction. There. The young man, them, oh, this is so. if this kind of thing continue, go become party bobo them. The bobo them will go sit in a party office all day, nothing to do. Then the minister give them 100 leons or something. You know, that's cruelty to me. We are all God's children. We forsake every life very important, and treat them picking here like this man. The man will make the video. I give him a lot of credit because he started off by saying, "Me and picking not to where they come." So it can easily, like Mr. Mustafa they say, like some people in the outside wall, you know. So it can easily say, I dey pay 7 million for my picking for go school every month. Like he described the environment when picking in the land. He can say, I'm not gonna nothing. He can easily say, I don't want the government for pushing hype on me. So, with much credit to them, he look at all them picking and say, who that go want them picking attend school, a place like this and call a school? You know? So, we'll give him a lot of credit. And these are the kind of things that we want. So, for those of us who are not going to take them, well, we just want to know for no say, them picking they not deserve that. And this may be just a microcosm or a reflection of so many other instances of children around the country who are going through the same situation. Beginning to go to school, they know where shoes. Then we're familiar. When you get them kind of grown in at the school, you know they wear shoes. You end up with something we call jigger under your toe. You know, they are subject to all kind of parasites, parasitic diseases. You know, so we they out here, we for demonstrate more sympathy, like Mr. Jamboria say. But if you convince in your heart that all is well and beautiful back home, and that what we do is bad to the country, we urge you, give up here, give up abroad. You know, go home and because home is nice for everybody. So go home and reestablish yourself there and put you picking at this kind of school. Then we will believe, say, you really mean business. But it's unfair for make you feel so other man picking for them at this kind of condition because you in America, you drive 80 to 90 miles an hour in your car, then picking at entitled to that same kind of privilege here when they grow up for drive. By then, we want Australia where they go to drive 120 miles an hour in their car, right inside Australia. Now that we wish them. So until then, good night, everyone. You know, hope to see you again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the contribution. And please feel free to contact us and listen to it every weekend. Thanks. Good night.
They say